Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the best and worst of Charlotte Tilbury. So I actually woke up this morning and for the very first time I was like, you know what, enough putting this video off. I've been wanting to make it for a year and a half. I'm just going to do it already because I've been saying to myself, oh well, maybe once I get this product, once I collect more products, then I'll do the video. And it's just like, you know what, I just have to do it because I've been waiting too long. I've been sitting on this stuff too long. They keep coming out with more stuff and I just can't keep up. I'm never gonna have all of her stuff. It's so expensive. So that brings me into my next point. Charlotte Tilbury is a luxury brand. It is truly that. You will see, I will go through the prices in this video of each thing and you'll be like, oh my God. There's definitely some things in here that are worth saving your money for, and it does feel like a treat once you do save up for them. However, there are some things that are not worth saving up for, and I will let you know which ones those are. I have been testing this stuff for over a year and a half, so this is a long time coming. I know that they are launching though at Sephora soon, so they are going to be becoming more accessible to a lot more people. So to help you navigate a little bit better, I am going to go through best and worst of Charlotte Tilbury. I hope that you guys like, subscribe, stay tuned, keep watching. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the order of operations of what I would use. So, first product is this Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. This is one of those products that I feel like is worth the money, and I'll tell you why. So this clocks in at $55. It is not cheap, and when I initially saw that, I was like, why is this primer $55? Well, it's actually more than a primer. It's actually considered part of her skincare line. So the reason is it's because it has hyaluronic acid in it. So if you do have dry skin, especially as we move into colder months, a lot of time I will use this underneath my foundation. That's really the only way. It does say that you can use it on top of your foundation kind of as a glow. I don't think that it makes that big of a difference in that respect. I really do use it as skincare. So like I said, when my skin is feeling extra dry, I reach for this because it will give me that extra hydration. It will give me a glow underneath my foundation when I need it. You can use this by itself too, just on days when you're running around. Kind of gives you like an after the gym glow in my opinion. So I do feel like this is worth it. I really would recommend it, and it is probably one of their best sellers for a reason. So again, that's the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. By the way, I am wearing all Charlotte Tilbury makeup today, so I will tell you as I go along what I'm wearing. Let's move on to the Overnight Bronze and Glow Mask. As you can see right here, there was a sticker put over it. I don't know why, to this day it still bothers me. And it used to say Dream Bronze Mask. Kind of bizarre. When you pay that much, you don't really want to see stuff like that where it's just put over the top kind of lazily like that. I did buy it just as it came out. This was probably, feels like a year ago to me, but this does clock in again at $55. So again, it's part of their skincare line. It's pretty pricey. I do like it. It does give you a nice self-tanned look, and you can build it up gradually over the few days, or you can just use it once at night, wake up, looking healthier. While I do like it, you can just use a self-tanner on your face, or you can use, like Saint Tropez has a face self-tanner. There isn't anything in here that promotes like anti-aging or anything, so there's no added benefits, if you know what I'm saying. So for that reason, would I buy this again? Probably not. And do I reach for this that often? Not really. This is something you can definitely skip on if you are on the fence. Yeah. So this next thing, this is the Unisex Healthy Glow All Year Hydrating Summer Tint Moisturizer. So with this one, we do have a very similar packaging to the Overnight Bronze and Glow. As you can see, you can almost not tell them apart, which is not good if you have them next to each other on your nightstand, I'm just gonna say. This retails for $40, and I actually put this in a products that I hate video. It's really not universal whatsoever, and it's very, very orange. So I'm afraid to even do this, but it's one of those things where it comes out white, and as you rub it in, yeah, it gets very, very orange. If you want to see it in action, I will link down below the video where I talked about that, and it's not good. It's definitely not universal, and I don't really know who that's for. It does remind me to say that I feel like Charlotte Tilbury as a brand really reminds me of a very high-end Glossier, in the sense that a lot of the stuff will give you a very natural, glowy look without making it look like you're wearing too much makeup. I will say that it'll give you a more dramatic look than Glossier products will, but it really does give you kind of a nice, natural look, which I like about it a lot. And I also want to say too that Charlotte Tilbury makeup is definitely a brand that celebrities and professional makeup artists are using. So if you are ever wondering, gosh, what is that celebrity using? What do these makeup artists use on these high-end celebrities, what makeup are they really using? It's a lot of the time they will be using Charlotte Tilbury brand. It gives a very natural look, like they're not really wearing any makeup, and that's usually the goal of celebrities. So anyway, I really want to apologize because I do not have any foundations, and that was one of the reasons why I was putting this video off. It's because I don't have any of her. I think she has 2 different foundations, or she has the Magic Foundation, which I've really been wanting to try. It's very expensive, and it's very hard for me to get into an actual store and try to match myself. But I do have the Retoucher Conceal and Treat Stick. I got this in shade 2, which is fair, and I didn't get the right shade. I really think that this is too dark for me. The shade Fair, there is one more shade that's lower, which is number 1. This product retails for $35, so that is very pricey, definitely on the high end for concealers. It is one of those, kind of like, this reminds me of just the YSL. I feel like that was one of the first ones, but it's just not very light. Like, that's Fair. And it's kind of blending in with my slightly tan skin, so it's definitely not going to give you that very bright look underneath. It's not going to cover up really dark pigmented under eye dark circles, so just keep that in mind. It's kind of for like spot treating and different things like that if you want like a thin layer over something, if you're on the go, if you just want to really quick touch it up. Like I said, it's called the Retoucher. So I think if you're on the go, you just need to retouch. Like your foundation has worn off in a place that you have a lot of redness. That's kind of what it's for. I gotta be honest, I don't really reach for this ever. So for that reason, I don't think I would recommend it. Next, let's move on to some face products. So this is probably the number 1 product I would recommend to you. Probably one of their best sellers and what they are most known for. And it is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. This retails for $68, which feels like a ton of money. But I want to say that it is worth every penny, in my opinion. It has a great mirror on it. The pans in here are so deep. If you hit pan on this, you've had it for years. And I mean years. I have used this every single day, every time I do my makeup for probably the past 1.5 years since I got it. It's truly one of my favorite luxury items that I've ever owned. It is a staple in my everyday makeup routine. This is the perfect undertone for contouring. I've even had people say, oh my gosh, what are you using for contour? That's just not a compliment that people typically get, which is just funny to me. This highlight is the most amazing highlight. As I kind of move my head around, hopefully you can see. You can use this for any makeup look, any day of the week, no matter what job it is, no matter what season it is, it's the best. This is truly one of the best contour shades, especially if you are like someone around my skin tone. They did come out with one for people with darker skin tones, which is great, and I would love to know your thoughts on that if you have tried it. And then again, like this highlight is it's just a perfect neutral champagne color. The packaging is just simply amazing. It's great for traveling. It does not get banged up. You do not have to worry about this in your makeup bag as it's clunking around at the airport. I cannot say enough good things about it. This is the number 1 thing I would recommend to you guys. Definitely a product worth saving up for. So let's talk about another face product. So this is their Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blusher in the shade Ecstasy. This blush retails for $40. I know that this kind of looks like a boob. All of her Swish and Pop blushes look like boobs. It's just something that you have to get over, but these are really, really good. So what you're supposed to do, you're just supposed to swirl it like this and then pop it under your cheeks. So here, let me. So there you go. This is my favorite shade that she has in her collection. I kind of looked at all of them and judged, and it gives you a really healthy, natural glow. A lot of people will ask me what blush I'm wearing whenever I wear this. I'm wearing it right now if you like the way that it looks. It's so gorgeous. I definitely would recommend this. However, this actually came in a set. My boyfriend bought me the Dolce Vita set. It was $230 for my 22nd birthday, so it was one of the best gifts I ever got. It was definitely a splurge. It was a really luxury gift though, and it did come with this and a couple other things, which I will link below. The set, he bought it from Nordstrom, and it really came with a lot of this stuff in it, and that way you can kind of get a better deal. It's still a lot of money, especially to spend in one go, but this came in there, so maybe you can get it for a little bit more discounted if you do like this and a couple other things. But this blush is absolutely gorgeous. It is so natural looking and really just gives you that healthy look that a blush is supposed to give you. So I would recommend this. You can definitely get blushes like this from the drugstore, don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of a luxury feeling, and if you do like to have stuff like this, then I would recommend it. It's really good. So moving along, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold. The packaging is somewhat deceiving online. It's just kind of like a cardboard packaging. I don't love the packaging of this. I like how it looks like a bar of gold, but it is very prone to breaking, and it's just not my favorite thing in the whole world. This does retail for, it looks like $42 on the Charlotte Tilbury website. I feel like I bought it for a lot more, and I definitely regretted it. I never ever use it, and it's just a really, I don't think the formula is the same than it is as it is in this palette right here. It's kind of like a collectible thing to own if you like makeup, but it doesn't sit open like this on your desk, and you probably wouldn't want it to. So it's just kind of sits like this and in this cardboard box, and it's just not, it's like almost like keeping the unicarton of a package. It just doesn't make any sense. So I would not recommend this if I'm being totally honest. You can definitely find drugstore highlighters that work just the same as this. I will do a swatch really quickly. So that's what it looks like. It does look really pretty. I'm not gonna lie to you in that respect, but it's just not anything too spectacular if I'm being super honest. Like if you blend it out, which most everybody would, see what I mean? You're just like, okay, you know, it's just not, it's not anything great. I think you could probably get a Wet n Wild one that probably looks very similar to that. Wouldn't recommend, not really worth it, unless you're a collector and you just have money to spend. So yeah, that's a very specific person. Next, let's talk about the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. I cannot believe that name is so long, but if you think about the words in the name, like actually think about them, it really does describe what this product is. It is a skin perfecting micro powder. It is so finely milled. This product retails for $45, so it's pretty on point, I guess, with the rest of their stuff. Again, it's pretty pricey, especially for a powder, because you do go through these very quickly. This is the powder I reach for whenever I have something special coming up, or if I really want to look airbrushed. Because it's so finely milled, you get such a perfect poreless looking face. It really is good to set your under eyes. You're never gonna look cakey if you use this powder, and it just sets everything really nicely. So I don't think that the color range is great on these, but the Charlotte Tilbury doesn't have, they're not known for having a really great color range for anybody, even people like me who pretty much have a foundation shade in every single brand. So definitely something that they need to work on. I have noticed they are expanding their color ranges at least a little bit in the past year or so. So it's just a great product. I actually would recommend this. Definitely something that is always in my rotation when I'm doing my makeup. So next, let's move on to eyes. So I have right here the Dolce Vita Luxury Palette. It is a 4-pan eyeshadow palette. So this eyeshadow palette I did get when my boyfriend bought me the Dolce Vita set, so this came with it. I am wearing this one on my eyes today, and I have to say I don't love it. From my experience with this palette, I can't say that I would totally recommend getting a Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow, just not based on my experience with this palette alone. To me, it's very difficult because I don't feel like this is a very great color selection. Charlotte Tilbury is known for putting shimmer shades in the crease, which, you know, could be an artistic expression. For me, I just don't like it, and I don't think that it looks very good. It's just like, that's something that young models can get away with, but not people with hooded eyes like me, and, you know, older people with more mature eyelids. It just is not gonna work out for us. So I can't totally agree with that. The shade right here, there is some shimmer in it. This shade has shimmer in it. This shade has shimmer in it, and this shade obviously has shimmer in it. So there are no matte shades in this palette, at least, and it's hard to work with it. It's like you have to reach for another palette. When I thought I was going to love this shade, and it's just not very pigmented, not very impactful, and it's just not what I expected it to be. It will swatch nice if you do swatch it at the store, but like I said, on my eye, I'm wearing it on my lid, and you can't really tell. It's just not very eye-catching and, you know, anything like that, and I did wet it. They are very smooth shadows. They're just not my favorite. I think you can get better shadows for a lot cheaper. This palette retails for $53, which means that each shadow is gonna be $13.25 each. Would you pay $13.25 for any of these shadows? Probably not. So you can kind of rationalize it that way. It does have a cute mirror. It does have cute packaging, but to me, it's just not worth it. You cannot get a variety of looks out of it. Next, for eyes, we have the Feline Flick eyeliner. This did come again in the Dolce Vita set, and this retails for $30, okay? $30. Let me just say right now, there's stuff out there for much cheaper that you can buy that works exactly the same. I am wearing it right now. I do feel like it performs very well. I wasn't disappointed that I had it, and I'm not sad that I have it. I'm not mad that I have it, but I do feel like it is not worth $30. It's just not anything like overly black where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so worth it because it's so black. It does dry matte. It doesn't really have a sheen, but it's just, I can't justify $30 for this. And this is what the tip looks like. It's just a regular felt tip liner. I will say that the tip does stay really sharp, but it's just, you know, it's not anything crazy. The cap drives me nuts because it doesn't go on all the way. So it's very susceptible to rolling around in your bag, popping off, you lose it forever, and then your eyeliner dries out. So the packaging is not great. I do like that there is a grip. So if you do have trouble holding onto your eyeliner, so if you are like maybe somebody whose hands shake, if you have problems with grip, then this might be something that you might look at because it does have that. It doesn't make a huge difference, and you can always put like a pencil grippy even on another eyeliner to get it straighter. But it doesn't ever go out of control. It doesn't bleed. It doesn't sink into anything. It's pretty good. You won't be mad that you have it, but you will be maybe a little bit mad that you're out $30. So next we have the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes Mascara. So this mascara retails for $29, basically $30. And it's okay. It's not anything great. It's not life-changing. It's not as good as the Essence Lash Princess, which is, you know, a couple bucks. I would say the Marc Jacobs Noir mascara is a lot better and will give you the same kind of effects this one will at the same price point. And then, like I said, the Essence Lash Princess will really give you length and volume for like a couple bucks. So it's really, you know, mascaras are something that you really don't want to splurge on. Let's just be honest. At the end of the day, you really don't. This one, I will say, the name, it does ring true. It will give you fat, voluminous lashes. I wore it today, but I'm wearing false lashes, so you can't really see, but it will give you volume. So if you're looking for volume, not necessarily length, then you might like this. But I think that we all want length and volume, if we're being honest. You know, what's the point of having short, stubby lashes? I really don't reach for this that often. It does dry though, and I don't find that it ever flakes off or anything like that, so that's good about it. It's not like overly wet or overly dry. It's kind of right in the middle. But you know, there's just other stuff for better. So for that reason, not really worth it. Next, let's get into some lip products where she does things really well. And the first product I'm going to show you is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Lips, and I have mine in Charlotte Darling. I bought this because it looked the most nude to me, like the one that I would gravitate towards the most. This does retail for $34. Again, it's pretty pricey for a liquid lipstick, much higher, about $10 higher, $10, $15 higher than a mid-range liquid lipstick costs. So definitely in that luxury range. So the applicator definitely has like a little lip that will hug your lips, which is kind of nice. Definitely is kind of like a moussey texture, and then it does dry down really matte. I would describe this shade as slightly warm nude. It's really pretty on the lips, and it is very comfortable. I wouldn't say that it's one of the best formulas I've ever tried, but it is very good. I don't regret having it, and I do like the packaging. I mean, all of her stuff is just this beautiful rose gold packaging, and it all goes together really well, so I do like that about it, and I wanted to say that too, that the packaging kind of is part of the allure and the luxury feel of the whole brand. But yeah, it's pretty good. Would I recommend it to you? Yeah, I think if you found your shade, and this is something where I would go into the store, and if you know, I think they're coming to Sephora soon, so you can swatch them there, hopefully, or go into a Nordstrom yourself. So next to lips, let's talk about their lip cheats, which are their lip liners, and they are for reshaping and resizing. These retail for $22, and they are, in my opinion, so worth it. They have some iconic shades, literally and figuratively, in their collection. They're so iconic that you can't really get them anywhere else type of thing. Like, you should just buy the real thing instead of getting like the dupe. I have two of their most popular shades. The first one is Iconic Nude, and then I also have Pillow Talk, which is the one you probably heard of. This is Iconic Nude, and then this one right here is Pillow Talk. Right now I am wearing Iconic Nude, which is the one that I definitely recommend, especially if you love to wear nude lipsticks and you really like to have that really full lipped look. These are so creamy. They last for such a long time. They blend so well with other nude lipsticks, and they really do resize your lips. And it's kind of like a without lip injections type of thing. It's very cool. It's definitely in one of my top holy grail products of all time, especially the Iconic Nude, but I love Pillow Talk also. Pillow Talk is a really good one if you want to do like your whole lips and lip liner, but she did just come out with a Pillow Talk lipstick shade, which I heard is really good too, so it's just a lipstick form of that. Anyway, really good. Definitely recommend, definitely recommend. Next I have some lipsticks. The first is in Kim KW and the second I have is in Penelope Pink. The packaging is definitely on point. It definitely gives you a luxury feel, but they're a little bit different. So first I'm going to show you Kim KW because it does look different than Penelope Pink. So you can see that it does have a lip, like a kiss mark imprinted into the packaging. They have a very sweet smell to them, almost like that baked good type of like cupcake type of thing. Very creamy. They last for a very long time. They're not so creamy that they'll slide off your lips, but they'll definitely give you a nice punch of color and a little bit of a creamy look. Especially Kim KW is probably one of her most popular shades in the Hot Lips collection, and it is just, they're so worth it to me. Both of these lipsticks do retail for $34. The one I really recommend is the Kim KW for sure. It's the one I'm wearing if I haven't said that already. It's just a very nude shade. Kim Kardashian would probably wear herself. I think that it is very on brand. By the way, this is the top of the lid. Very cute. And then next, this is Penelope Pink. It just looks like a regular lipstick bullet, and that's exactly what it is. This is also $34, like I said. This did come in the Dolce Vita set. It's definitely a warmer and more brown nude. I think that if you have more pigment in your skin, you are really gonna like this one because the Kim KW is very light. It's a really pretty shade. I have to be honest, I don't really reach for it that often, but I do like to just have it in my collection just to look at it if I'm being so super honest. But yeah, the final product that I have to talk about today is the lip gloss in Seduction. The packaging on this feels 10 out of 10, so luxury. It looks so luxury, I love it. There's something about it that I really love, and it just has a regular old doe foot applicator. This is just a really pretty nude shade. I am wearing it over top Kim KW right now. Otherwise, Kim KW is a little bit lighter than what I'm wearing. I did get this in the Dolce Vita set. These do retail for $22, which is not bad. You don't get a ton of product in here. It never ever feels sticky. It is a very luxurious kind of like a slip over your lips, and it will stay glossy. That's the biggest thing, is that it just doesn't feel goopy and stringy. So it's definitely none of those things. I don't know that I would really recommend these because I feel you can get less expensive ones that work just as good. Anyway, that is it for my best and worst of Charlotte Tilbury. I hope that you guys learned or got a better idea of what you would buy from this brand. I know that they are launching at Sephora soon, so it will be a lot more accessible to a lot more people. So hopefully if you stumble across this video, you do subscribe and like, and let me know if you want me to do any more best and worst brand videos. Like I said, I'm going to continue to be collecting Charlotte Tilbury stuff and giving you my review as I go. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!